We got Marla Amps in the house.
Hello.
Anthony over here from Marla Amps. And we got this Purple Wonder right in front of us. Brand new.
Brand new. Coming out this month.
Released. It's coming out soon.
Soon.
Maybe at the time of shooting, not out yet, but
yeah.
By the time you see it, it'll be close.
7/25 is a date. 7/25/24.
Remember that when you're,
lock it in.
Going through the post-apocalyptic desert. Back in July 25th, 2024, right before it all ended. This baby right here came out. It was good.
Somebody unboxed one of these. I was like,
the last great thing.
The Lost Ark, and just
there you go. So you guys, we've done some stuff on Marla Amps already. We had a demo with the S10V.
Correct.
Which was a 10-watt amp, single channel. So this is I don't just want to say it's the 20-watt version because it's a little different.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the 10-watt ones. I thought they were awesome. Some of you guys have too, because I know some of you have ordered them. But they're killer. They're priced amazing. They're made in the US. We're going to talk about all that stuff. But give us a quick rundown about this one. Like, how's it different, and just what does it do?
Yeah, the overall theme with my 20-watt is the concept of like utilitarian, as opposed to, or excuse me, the idea behind the 20-watt utilitarian. It's something to where 2 channels, gain staging for both channels, or sensitivity options for both channels, ability to mix, and ability to really incorporate a plethora of pedals to just take it into modern overdrive distortion sounds to classic rock fuzz sounds. I really wanted to build something that looked familiar and approachable, but was more dynamic than what it appears to be at face value. And a lot of the voicing structure is kind of like my nod to the favorite parts of like the Tweed era.
Cool.
Yeah.
Because 6v6 tubes, right?
66, yeah.
But still not like, this is not like a straight Tweed, it's different. So kind of like a blank slate, right?
Yeah.
With pedals. I will say, I got to play it right before we started here, and obviously we're going to hear some sounds. But sometimes things like that are you use pedals to push it in different directions can be kind of sterile, and I don't feel like they're fun. This is super fun. I was just plugged straight in playing one of the Echo Parks we had over there on the wall, and I probably played for longer than I should have, just because it's fun. Both channels are pretty different. In a good way.
Yeah.
I could see doing ABY.
Yes.
Because I could switch between them or hitting them both. I think that would be super cool.
Yeah, and that's the concept with the voices being different. Channel 1 being your kind of loosey-goosey. It's just a volume control, no tone attached to it. It's loosey-goosey, bassy, but also has a bright cap on it, fine-tuned bright cap. Not like a Marshally, like a kind of ear-piercing bright, but a nice kind of subtle blend between a Marshall and a Fender bright. That's like to me, it's like the best kind of like crunch sound in the amp. The other channel, channel 2, is more of like your Princeton voice, kind of mid-rangey, really narrow versus like broad. And the tone pot on it has like twice the sweep of like my 10-watt.
Okay.
So you can make it like really kind of like narrow, mid-heavy. Makes a really good clean sound, and when you jump the channels with the AV box or like just a jumper cable, you really kind of get this like punch in the gut, really mid-driven kind of classic American blues rock tone, and that's what I like. Like guitar sounds all together, that's like the perfect sound for like rock in my opinion. That like classic blues drive.
But so you can jump it. You don't necessarily need a pedal, just patch cable.
Just patch cable,
like an old Fender or Marshall or whatever. Very cool. What speakers are in these things?
These are the BV25M, which I think is Mojotone's like kind of greenback 25 watt. Yeah. Cool. One thing that's important to me with this, the 10 watt, you have a 50 watt speaker, so you're not getting much of that speaker breakup. I wanted to, with 20 watts, I wanted to get something close to that 20 watt threshold, so you can hear that 70s kind of like Hendrix driving the speaker just as much as you're driving the amp, and letting that kind of articulate your guitar tone and let it kind of break up a little bit and struggle a little bit as you start to really dig into it. I love that 70s kind of psych rock sound, and so I wanted to have some kind of influence in that with this build too.
Awesome. Now, you hate Tolex.
That's
We were joking about that, right?
hate's a strong
Hate's a
word,
strong word.
but you used it accurately in that context.
I do. So tell us about the finishes on these.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just tell us about that and about because this color is awesome. So how many colors are they available in, and what made you want to do like the wood thing?
Well, they call us wood sniffers, right? In the guitar world, you know, I love the looks of almost every wood. These are 3/4 inch pine, just like classic Fenders. I wanted to stay true to that. I didn't want to cover them in Tolex because I feel like that kind of we talk about tone woods on acoustics all the time. You wouldn't put Tolex on an acoustic. I don't feel like you should put it on anything else that's kind of projecting your sound and your tone. So I opt into usually doing either like a brushed polyurethane on the natural. This is I call it Durple. It's a deep purple. I do 2 passes with a sponge bath, if you will.
Nice.
And yeah, the blue is also kind of that same kind of sponge bath oil-based staining. The S20V is going to come out in 3 colorways. A natural one, which I hope to only sell in a dealer network once I hit a certain amount of dealers to make kind of Marla Amps sustainable. That magic number in my head is like 25. Make it really accessible to people throughout the U.S. If I get up to 50 all the major cities, that'd be amazing. The Durple will probably like only be available on my website until I start accepting like custom kind of build to order for dealers.
Cool.
And then there is like a coffee stain that's available as a Reverb exclusive.
Nice.
So Reverb's been pretty awesome and excited about my take on amp building. And when I reached out about like, hey, possibility of linking together and doing some stuff, they're like, yes, let's have one at our recording studio. Send us one your way. Let's do it like a limited color. And so I had a few prototypes of the satin brown, and they opted in for it. They gave it a thumbs up and said, let's do this.
Awesome. So, that's super cool, man. Tell us sort of, I don't want to spoil anything. One of the things I thought were cool about talking about, your vision for your company. You've got out the 10-watt version. This is coming out the 25th. And I think, you've already got some other things mapped out that you want to put out, like kind of years down the road, it sounded like.
Yeah.
But just tell us, like, what is the overall vision of your company? Because I think it's really cool what you're doing. Like, why are you making amps? Like, everything's digital. There's a ton of boutique amps.
I mean, I definitely see a need for a low-cost option for American-made amplifiers. My ethos is to provide gigging musicians on a budget with something that will hold up and last a long time. I really don't want to compete and take away with other builders in the U.S.
Right.
So I'm kind of crafting this plan and using pricing as like my biggest driver for the product to compete with imported goods and imported brands, so I can just make them more accessible. I can crank out more units. Everything I do design-wise is also kind of harkens back to the ability to lower like goods on hand kind of cost, bring down my operating cost. That's why you see me use the same size cab.
Yep.
You'll see this cab get used for 2 more models before I jump into head and cab kind of separate offerings.
Yep.
And I forgot the question because my ADD is terrible and I had a bunch of coffee this morning. I'm crashing now. So I hope I kind of answered. Overall theme for builds, rock and roll, like
Just
rock, blues, rock things. Yeah, things that make you want to like dime out an amp, turn it up, and have like a good time. I think is the biggest ethos for like what my designs kind of are meant for.
I love that, man, and I love that you're making these amps. You're making them in Asheville, North Carolina. They're hand wired. They're great parts. We actually had a friend of the shop that does a lot of business with us. Went through it with an amp tech. had nothing but fantastic things to say. Like great soldering, he said, great parts, great design. So I love that, and the fact that you can get the 10 watt for under $1,000, super giggable, pretty fantastic. I think that we will be seeing these in little clubs and venues.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I think these are the kind of things. You know, maybe you gig every weekend, you can't afford the 2-rock. These you could do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're fantastic. I took one out for 2 gigs and was really impressed. So yeah, man, they're great, and yeah, we want to keep helping. So hopefully, put Marla out there in the world. But thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah, and I'll say this. Speaking of pricing, I envision the main competitor for this amp to be something like the Deluxe Reverb.
Yep.
Something that's, I think, priced around $15.99, $16.99 US. This is going to come to market for at $11.99 for the first 60 days, so $500 less than that.
Awesome.
And then it'll come to market at $13.99, but $200 off the first 60 days, just to say thank you for all the early adopters that are willing to give this company a shot and give this take on amp building a chance. And that's something I'm really excited about. It makes it an easy step up from the 10 watt. If anybody's kind of like, I like the 10 watt, but I want something a little bit more in depth and a little more volume for kind of gigging out without being mic'd. And yeah, so it's exciting to me. Coming to market with something new is always a blast, and getting to hear people's feedback on it. And I will say this. I name all my amplifiers because they are worthy of more than just a serial number.
I love that too.
Yeah, and all these first batches are named after dogs at our kind of local animal shelters in Asheville. So
awesome.
Yeah, it's like when you go to not Disneyland, the other kind of spin-off of it in Orlando, and like you don't pick the wand, but the wand picks you.
Oh yeah.
Your amp comes to you named already, so you can name your guitars, but your amp's already there. Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry, that was a random tangent. I'm just sitting here looking at the nameplate on this, and I was like, oh yeah,
that's cool,
something
man.
that a lot of people don't know.
Also, if I can show.
Oh yeah.
This thing, I'll come with these awesome little hand typed things, which I think are cool, giving you information about the company and about the amp. Yeah, dude. Anything else you can think of? Any last thoughts?
You know, I think we talked about this earlier.
We live streamed. Go watch the live stream today.
Yeah.
From this week, and you'll But
we talked about global takeover and my ethos on what I am trying to do to sustain in the marketplace. I guess it's after live stream.
Right.
Sorry, it all is blending together because like the 5 cups of coffee and then not sleeping much last night.
Drugging around 7 pounds a day.
But my coming from music instrument retail, watching how many, and I hope I can say this on your channel, Fender Blues Juniors we sold because they're phenomenal amps, especially for the price. Knowing how many we sold and knowing what small percentage of US sales we were, my company's just looking to take 1% of just that one amplifier's that one Blues Junior, their demand in the US. If I can own 1% of those sales, I'll sustain as a business, and that's
awesome.
Crazy for how small I am starting out as, and how how little of a following I would have to really need to just carry on this dream of low cost American made amplifiers.
I like it.
So
I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's my rambling for you.
I like it. Rambling. No movies, no conspiracy talk. Just all straight about it.
Do you want to talk about reptilians?
Weird. I mean, we can. We'll do it off camera.
Yeah.
Well, you guys will have to go out there and do your own research. But anyways,
yeah.
Anyways, check out Marla Amps on Instagram for sure. Anywhere else you're at social media wise?
No, but if you are checking me out on social media, make sure you stop by YouTube and like and subscribe to Casino Guitars, because they are on their road to 100,000 followers.
You're basically hired. Road to 100,000. That's right. Make sure you are subscribed, because we're giving away a ton of things. PRS giveaway is live right now. Make sure you comment on that video and like it. But biggest thing, if you comment and then we go check and you're not subscribed, you are disqualified. So make sure you're subscribed. Tell your friends, share it. Yeah, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Don't forget the bell, and we will see you